Previously on Cupic, Diary of an Investigator.
This is Sandra.
Hey, Sandy. I have someone you need to talk to.
About?
The mysterious planes and sonic booms.
Go on.
He's a former aeronautical engineer who worked at Garrison Industries during the 70s and the 80s. He only worked on stealth aircraft and satellite defense system development. He's been before.
Hey there.
Good morning, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Thanks.
Been holding out on me.
Well, I didn't know you needed someone with my background.
I'm still going through the reports by myself at the moment. Sandra's meeting with one of Tyler's contacts, and they should be back soon. Hey, hello. This is Gavin.
Well, Gavin, we sure do have a lot to talk about.
What's going on?
Well, there's a new twist to the current reports, and we have a potential new member for our organization.
Cool. Reports are getting really odd.
Yeah, well, at least they're not black-eyed children.
Yeah. Talk to you later.
Okay, see you soon.
See you when you get here.
Okay. So, let's talk about Garrison.
Yes. I worked in the El Segundo facility. You probably don't realize it, but we actually worked on a few projects together.
Really?
Yeah, I was on the California end, and your name popped up on a few reports.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Today we're starting something new. We'll start videotaping some of our personal journal, starting with this one. Granted, Cupic has been doing recorded eyewitness testimonials since the late 80s, early 90s, but in a conversation with co-founder Cynthia Young, it was suggested that we start having video documentation to show the progress of our investigations. We're still receiving a flood of reports regarding mysterious diamond-shaped triangular craft in the area in the skies at night. Cross-checking with other Cupic chapters, I find it interesting that these objects are occurring all over the place, like California, Nevada, and parts of Utah as well.
Live, local, late breaking.
This is footage from an eyewitness from Torrance of a diamond-shaped object seen over the South Bay area. Several witnesses have reported the same object flying over the city.
It was the lead story on the nightly news and made headlines in local papers during the late 80s and the early 90s. Eyewitnesses in Southern California, Nevada, and Arizona reported seeing wedge-shaped, delta-shaped, or triangular craft darting through the skies. Many have been reported over metropolitan areas.
There are also reports of mysterious sonic booms and strange rumbling sounds. What's going on? Hopefully, as we talk to our new colleague, Bob Merona, we'll get some answers. Bob has a strong background in aerospace technology. He was a contractor for Garrison Industries in California from the late 70s to the early 90s. Could you state your name?
Bob Morona. I live in Peoria, Arizona.
Tell us about your background.
Bob grew up in New York. Just before entering high school, he and his family moved to Pasadena, California. After high school, Bob joined the Air Force for 2 years, then switched to the National Guard. During that time, he attended Cal State Northridge, where he studied mechanical engineering. Soon after he graduated, he worked for Garrison Industries at the El Segundo facility from the late 70s. He has since retired and is now running his own business.
What about these recent sighting reports? What are the similarities?
The craft descriptions, the sonic booms, or lack of.
In a 1994 video, Dr. Nevin, the founder of Cupic, talked about it.
There were several reports of mysterious series of sonic booms which occurred on the West Coast, mainly in Southern California.
These recent sightings remind me of what was reported back in the early 90s. I used to see it on the local LA news, stories about mysterious triangular-shaped craft and mysterious sonic booms.
At first, seismologists thought they were just normal tremors, but they realized that they would always occur at the same times every day. To this day, there's no explanation to these mysterious sonic booms. Some speculate that it was a top-secret Aurora project, a hypersonic aircraft that can reach the fringes of outer space.
These flights probably originate from either Edwards in the Mojave Desert, Groom Lake in Nevada.
Edwards Air Force Base is a United States Air Force installation in Southern California, located approximately 22 miles northeast of Lancaster. It is the home of the Air Force Test Center and is the Air Force Materiel Command Center of Excellence for conducting and supporting research and developmental flight test and evaluation of aerospace systems from concept to combat. It operates the U.S. Air Force Test Pilot School and is home to NASA's Dryden Research Center and considerable test activities conducted by America's commercial aerospace industry.
I was actually at Edwards for a short period. Some of those reports I know for sure were caused by a few tests of the F-22 stealth fighter. But there were many reports that couldn't possibly be the result of a flight test. Well, not from Edwards.
To this day, there's no explanation to these mysterious sonic booms.
What about Area 51?
Possible, but I have not been there. I knew a few colleagues who were under contract. They told me a few stories.
Area 51, also officially known as Groom Lake, is a large military airfield located in the southern portion of the U.S. state of Nevada, 83 miles north-northwest of Las Vegas. The base's current primary purpose is publicly unknown. However, based on historical evidence, it most likely supports development and testing of experimental aircraft and weapons systems. The intense secrecy surrounding the base has made it a frequent subject of conspiracy theories and a central component to UFO folklore. In July 2013, following a Freedom of Information Act request filed in 2005, the Central Intelligence Agency publicly acknowledged the existence of the base for the first time by declassifying documents detailing the history and purpose of Area 51.
This morning, I am traveling to Sedona to meet with someone who worked at Area 51. They're supposed to have a unique insight on the mystery crafts and also information on some kind of mystery surveillance that they are experiencing.
To help us with our investigations of the mysterious objects and sonic boom cases, Bob has introduced me to Anthony Powers, a colleague who worked at Area 51. He also has added a new twist to the conversation. Please state your name.
Anthony Martin Powers.
Let's talk about your past. Can you confirm that you worked at Groom Lake, better known as Area 51?
Yeah, I was on a project there from about 1998 to 2002 for the Statler Corporation, an electronics firm that was a subcontractor on a new flight helmet for the F-22 and the F-35. This helmet had an advanced HUD that was integrated into the visor. We worked on this project with the likes of Boeing and other companies. We were field testing the helmet by using a business jet as our platform for a few trials.
How did you commute to the base?
They drove us there. We would transit to Las Vegas from here via our own vehicles and meet in the Statler parking lot. We then boarded an awaiting bus that had blacked out windows. Later we ditched the buses and began to meet at the Vegas airport to take direct flights to the base.
Was this a company jet?
I don't think so. In a certain section of the airport is a terminal where the 737 jetliners are parked. These jets are white with a red stripe on the sides of the fuselage. The call sign for this airline is Janet. The way it worked was, when we were on base, we had access to our own projects. When other programs were conducting tests when we were on the base, we were all sat in a large room with blacked out windows.
So seeing other program activities was next to impossible.
Yeah, that's true for my role and many of the others. But I do have a few colleagues who have witnessed some unusual things at the facility. Some of these live here in the valley.
When you first met with Sandra, you were concerned about the surveillance and being watched. Can you expand on that?
Yes, ever since I returned from meeting a colleague in LA last year regarding his time in Area 51. We never really got into what he saw there, but I learned some serious things were happening to him. He was being watched and followed. He felt his phones were being tapped. It was really bad for him.
What happened to him?
He was killed in a car accident about 6 months ago in Long Beach.
So, what's happening with you?
Some of the same stuff. A mysterious black vehicle parked outside of my house or following me. Strange men wearing all black staring at my house. Mysterious black helicopters.
What was that? Helicopters?
Yeah.
Stories of black helicopters first appeared in the 1970s and were linked to reports of UFOs and cattle mutilations. In the 90s, the black helicopters theory were also associated with the belief that troops from the United Nations might invade the United States. During the late 80s and early 90s, eyewitnesses have reported to CUPIC and other investigative organizations that black helicopters have appeared to them after they had reported their initial sighting.
Before Sandra left for Sedona this morning, she told me that both she and Bob saw one of these mystery choppers. She described it as a dark-colored Huey type. Hey, Sandra.
Gavin, how'd your interview with Powers go?
Went fine. Got a wealth of information from him.
Great. I got some good information regarding those odd crafts and these mysterious black vehicles.
Morona was telling me about the black helicopter you saw recently.
Yes, I got some new information on that very subject. We can share and compare notes when I get there.
How far out are you?
Just under 40 minutes. I'm approaching Sunset Point and...
Must have hit a dead spot.
You have one new message. First message, sent today at 4:10 p.m.
Babe, are you watching the news? Check it out and call me back. That car looks familiar, and I've been trying to reach Sandra, and she's not answering. Honey, call me back, please.
A single-car accident occurred today on I-17, just north of Phoenix near Sunset Point. The accident occurred southbound around 3:30 this afternoon, a few miles north of Black Canyon City. Eyewitnesses detail how the vehicle traveled down the highway, and the driver seemed to lose control and careening over the embankment. The white, late-model Nissan hatchback fell 50 feet to the rocky basement below.